Still recording? Yeah, we should be good.
All right.
It's movable.
We all good?
Yep.
Good.
Good. Thanks for tuning in to the Cigar Guys podcast. We are here doing our very first episode. We're going to do some introductions, talk a little bit about ourselves. We have Mullet Master Mark over here.
How we doing?
We have the real CEO of Tesla, Jared. We have aerospace engineer and SpaceX CEO, Zach Nikolai.
What's going on?
And me, Mr. Producer. Probably the worst producer so far, but
Yeah, we've had so
Alex,
much trouble.
just trying to get it going, guys. But we're here. We're going to talk a little bit about ourselves. We're going to talk about some of the cigars we're smoking, some of the whiskey we're drinking. But first things first, everyone's going to go around and tell us what they're smoking. We're kind of doing like, what's your favorite cigar right now? So we'll start with Mark. What are you smoking tonight? Why is that your favorite?
All right, guys. So today I'm smoking the Mustra de Saka Unstolen Valor. And honestly, I picked this cigar today because when I first got into smoking cigars, I exclusively bought the Mustra de Sakas only because of the box. All right. And then the cigar is great. It's great flavor. The one I'm smoking today is like a medium to full body. A lot of good spice notes to it. But yeah, that's what I'm smoking. Mustra de Saka.
Good deal. Jared?
Today I'm drinking Macallan 12, which everybody knows is my favorite whiskey ever. And my favorite cigar is Padron 1964. Or 26, but today I'm smoking a 1964. It's pretty dark, good flavor, smokes really easily. I really like it a lot.
Good deal. Zach, what are you smoking?
So I am smoking Padron 1926. Jared's other favorite cigar. So and then I'm drinking. Let's see, what is this? Rabbit Hole. See, I don't even know what I'm drinking. Alex just had it out, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen that bottle before. Let's try it out.
Yeah, and I'm smoking the Davidoff Nicaragua, the box press. It's one of my favorites. I think it's the best Davidoff, me personally. Got a lot of great flavor, smooth draw, and I'm also drinking the Rabbit Hole, gifted to us by a good friend of ours. And I've had this once before. Zach hasn't tried it yet. Are you drinking Macallan or?
I'm drinking the Macallan.
So we got two guys in the back drinking Macallan. We got the two in the front drinking Rabbit Hole rye whiskey. It's very good. Lots of sweet notes. Got a little bit of a kick to it. Kind of like a citrusy apple flavor to it. Can I have the cutter, Zach? But we're going to talk a little about ourselves, how we each started our cigar journey. I'm going to start with myself, and then we'll work our way around. But basically, when I turned 18, a family friend of mine said that I have to smoke cigars. So I went to the local cigar shop. They recommended me to get a Padron 1926 Maduro. So that was my very first smoke right out of the gate.
Are you going to name drop that shop, or do we know what?
Yeah, Corona Cigar, obviously. If you guys have watched this for a while, you know which shop we go to. But we go to Corona Cigar in Heathrow, the Lake Mary area all the time. And so that was my first cigar. I started going to Corona for about 4 months until I met Zach, or we officially started hanging out. I invited him to come smoke with me, which is where his journey begins.
Yeah, so Alex invited me over to his house once. He was having a bonfire, and he hands me a cigar, and he's like, "Oh, you like cigars?" And I'm not gonna say no. There's a lot of people over there, right? I'm not just gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, if you're smoking one, I'll smoke one." No. So he handed me a cigar, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, that was pretty cool. I had a good time." And the next day, he asked me, "Hey, do you want to go to Corona?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So then from there, we just kind of hit it off, and we start going all the time. We start, grabbing different types of cigars together. Our palates changed through the years, from back when we were, 18, 19.
Yeah, so we kind of went through the journey together around the same time, smoking similar stuff, trying new stuff, taking notes, critiquing certain stuff. So that's where we developed our palate. And then about a year and a half or so later, we brought Mark into the equation, who happens to be Zach's brother.
Yeah, so I actually first started smoking cigars when I was like 18, and we walked in there, newbies or whatever, and they would give us the acid cigars. I never really liked them.
Boo.
Yeah, so I never really liked them, so I kind of stopped going for a while, and then Zach told me he's going with his buddy Alex. They go all the time. So then I went in there, and then they showed me a couple of cigars. Then actually, I think this was
That was one of your first ones. I
this
know
is
that.
probably one of the first ones I smoked. I don't think it was an Unstolen Valor. I think it was a different one they had.
One of the
But,
Musa de Sacas.
One of them, Mr. Desai. Yeah, so then I started smoking those for a while, and then I moved on to My Father, and I was religiously smoking My Father for a long time, and then probably after like a couple months, I started just branching out and smoking a lot of different things. You know, figuring out my taste buds, figuring out what I liked. You know, just a lot of trial and error, and yeah, now I can taste notes. I could look at a certain cigar and kind of tell if it's gonna be like medium to full body.
That's our superpower. Our superpower is that we can simply look at a cigar and we literally taste it through our brain. We know what it's going to taste like. That's how much we've evolved over the years.
Yeah, well, you know, cigar smoking professionals over here. And then, yeah, you know, so we went for a while, and then I think I was the first one to meet Jared.
Yeah, so recently, about a year or so ago, let's say, we met Jared. And Jared could talk about his personal experience with smoking cigars.
Yeah, so I think, were we both sitting at the bar or something?
Something like that. Or
I
the
think-
couch.
How did you first get into cigars?
I found my first cigar probably a long time ago, but I didn't really get too much into them. I've always been just for like liquor, like whiskey essentially. I never really had cigars up until my friend, in a similar sense, from like middle school, high school, said, "Hey, let's go to Corona." I went to Corona, had my first few cigars, and kind of never stopped going essentially. And then I met Mark.
It's kind of funny how all our cigar journeys pretty much started at that one cigar bar.
Yeah, so Corona Cigar Bar, for those that you don't know, it's basically like a giant mall for cigars. They have just about everything you can imagine. All the mainstream stuff, a lot of boutique stuff. So there's just like unlimited selection there for you to choose from. Great whiskey selection. They have all the spirits, all the beer, all the wine you can imagine. So, I mean, it gets packed as you can imagine that being... And they have 4 locations, and they all do great. So, we'll talk too about how we got started, leading up to this podcast, basically. So I know that last year, me, Zach, and Mark, we discussed ways to, kind of take our cigar smoking hobby to the next level, maybe make some money off it, be more productive. So we started the Cigar Guys TikTok, which a lot of you will be coming from, about a year or so ago, uploading content. Whether it's reviews, some meme videos even, that you guys love the meme videos, informative content, entertainment content, whatever it is. We've been doing that for a while, and we decided we've always kind of wanted to start a podcast.
Yeah,
We've talked about it. And then, meeting Jared, he's part of the reason he really pushed it. He said, "Hey, you guys need to make a podcast. You guys need to make a podcast. Let's get it done." So long story short, it led to us starting this podcast as another form of media to get some content out to you guys. And it's also fun, I think. I mean, if we're going to be smoking cigars, we might as well do something productive with it.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with the TikTok page.
Yeah, let's take it to the next level.
Videos, like memes, whatever. We've had a lot of fun with that. So I feel like this is the next step in our evolution.
Yeah, so this is going to be our first episode. We're going to be learning some stuff along the way, figuring some stuff out, how to make it look better, how to make the content a lot better. But we wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about us, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty here. We'll talk about these cigars. We'll talk about some other stuff. We don't just want to, be another cigar podcast that's strictly informational content. We want to be fun for you guys. We want to bring awesome guests on, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But how do you guys like the smoke so far?
Well, it's my favorite, so I love it.
Yeah, definitely not the first time smoking these. But we'll talk a little bit, too, before we get into some stuff, our future plans. So it's not going to be just us. You'll see us quite a lot, but you're also going to see, owners of boutique brands, cigar lounges, other people in the industry, whether they're wholesalers, other retailers, manufacturers. We're going to bring plenty of different guests on here to talk about interesting cigar content, their brands, you name it. We'll talk about whiskeys. Towards the end of this episode, we're each going to do a review on the cigar, and then we're going to review the whiskey we're drinking as well. But we're really excited about this. So we're going to get into some stuff here. I mean, Jared really been pushing this podcast, so I know he's been excited for it.
Yeah, we had to start this just to, so he doesn't annoy us anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. We were like, all right, I guess we'll do a podcast.
Well, I figured we're always talking, hang out together at Corona anyway, so why not bring what we do there and then kind of, bring it online.
Exactly.
And share, knowledge, continue networking, meet friends.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like we've had so many great conversations, while we're at Corona, that we always look back at it and we're like, man, I wish we had that recorded, because that'd be great to post. It's just, and that's how like all these great podcasts,
Come to be.
Yeah, they come to be. It's just because they're just recording all their conversations and they're just being natural. They're being fluid with it. They're not, they don't have a script that they're staying with. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, I think.
Yeah. Ideally, too, we'd like to have a more mobile setup so that way we can go to these cigar lounges and have conversations amongst ourselves, bring, random people in to talk about whatever. Because the conversations that happen at the cigar lounge naturally are just, they're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Really great conversations. I mean, they could be crazy ones. They could be very interesting philosophical stuff. I mean, it's like, it never ends.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, you just never know what kind of people you're going to meet in there.
And not just lounges, like different cigar events, traveling different places.
Of
different
course,
cities,
yeah.
Different cigar bars.
Yeah, I mean, the people in the industry, I mean, just either the consumers or even the people who, run the places, run the cigar shops and everything, I swear it's like the most tight-knit community. It's everyone's super nice to each other, and then you could meet someone and 5 minutes later you're just, you're bullshitting with them, for hours.
Yeah. A lot of great friends can be made at the cigar lounge. A lot of great friends have been made through cigars. Not just us. I mean, we know plenty of guys. Pretty much everyone at the cigar lounge we go to, we're pretty much, I'd say, friends with a lot of those guys. So you could go to the cigar lounge and, 90% of the time you're going to see someone you're going to see someone that you like to hang out with or talk with. Again, like Jared said, so many connections are made. So we really promote this hobby, this lifestyle even. I know that a lot of people that have been smoking cigars would agree that it is a lifestyle and it's a really fun lifestyle. A lot of great culture behind it. I mean, Jared only smokes Padron and only drinks Macallan, but we're going to break that. We're going to get him to smoke some other stuff.
Yeah,
I know he's been branching out.
I branch out every once in a while.
He has, yeah. Especially
he had the
recently.
whole back the other day.
Yeah, yesterday he branched out, right?
Well, yeah, yesterday I sent you that picture because someone actually gave me that cigar.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a calling. They're like, please try something else.
Was it?
It was the OMAC.
Yeah. So, how'd you like it?
It was okay. It was a lot harder, tightly wrapped, and also not as full body as this, but also it took a lot longer to smoke. It took like
Tighter draw.
Yeah, like we're talking like had to open up a little bit a few times and it took like an hour or two.
Yeah. It's crazy the different construction is a huge deal
Then right after that, I
when
bought
it comes to
Padron.
cigars. Yeah. You're like, well, so I'll try a new cigar, but then I'll smoke a Padron too,
Well, the thing about Padrones is they're actually, the reason they smoke faster is because they're actually a little lighter. So there's a little bit less tobacco leaves in there, but that's what allows, for the open drawness in the cigar.
Right, yeah. So by lighter, he means it literally weighs less than your average cigar that would be that size.
But it's still dark, which I like. That's a
Yeah. I mean, when you get a Maduro wrapper, there's just a lot of flavor on there, generally speaking. I mean, we actually recommend, when people ask us, what are some cigars for new cigar smokers to try, we'll recommend lighter body stuff, but we'll also say, hey, go for a medium body Maduro. There's a lot of flavor in there, and it's easier for you to pick up flavor and enjoy that cigar. I mean, my first cigar, like I said, was a Padron Maduro, which is a little on the stronger side, but it had a lot of flavor, which I think helped me kind of get into it. I enjoyed that flavor, and I didn't really know what notes I was picking up at the time, but all I knew is that I really liked it, and I stuck around long enough. So
Yeah, well, you also started with arguably one of the best,
that's true.
Smokes
Yeah.
there is.
A lot of people say like, oh, you start someone off with that, and it'll turn them away. But I mean, it's just such a great cigar. Like, how can you not like it? If I meet someone that doesn't like Padron, I'm like, well, do you really smoke cigars?
Yeah,
That's
honestly.
like every time I meet somebody and they say they don't like whiskey. I'm like, well, what would have you drinking? And they might say like just Jameson or something.
Yeah, if you
Small batch from someone you never heard of.
don't even get me started on
Kind of
Jameson.
unfair.
Me and Zach went to a Jameson tasting. One of our first whiskey tastings, I think our first whiskey tasting actually was a Jameson
I
tasting.
think so, yeah.
Let's put it this way: I don't like Jameson, and I went to that tasting, and I probably like it worse now.
Listen, I remember one was okay.
There was one decent one,
Yeah.
and it was one of the darker ones.
Yeah.
I would say it was more of a bourbon or a whiskey than it was like a Scotch.
Yeah, so number one was like okay. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was good. I would never recommend it to anyone. Then number two was bad.
Here's the
And then
problem: I
number
couldn't even
three-
tell you what the Jamesons were.
I couldn't tell you.
We don't care.
Yeah, number 3 was the one that you're referring to. It was darker. It was good, and I remember it being good because number 2 was bad, and I'm like, oh, thank God, like I could actually drink this. Then number 4 was awful. I took a sip, you know.
It was probably rubbing alcohol with like essential oil.
Oh yeah, because it had some sort of like flower notes. You remember she was saying
it's very
that?
floral. You can really pick up those floral notes. I'm not
man.
here for the floral notes right now. Let me get some good citrus. Let me get like some cocoa, something interesting, man.
Was the person trying to get you to drink it also drinking it?
Well, it was a tasting. So yeah, they were trying to sell it. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, obviously these whiskey tastings, their goal is to sell you bottles. And we've bought bottles before. We definitely did not buy a bottle of Jameson. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
We've bought Macallan. We've bought Old Forester.
Belvini.
We actually won a raffle for the Old Forester 150 year. Very limited release. So we were really excited about that.
And we got batch number 3, which is one of the most desirable ones.
Yeah, so we're sitting on that bottle.
I think the biggest issue is like we're drinking Scotch, or at least Macallan is a Scotch, but most people I know like bourbons, you know, and there's rye, there's Irish whiskey, so you really got to find what you like.
Yeah, you really got to find out what you like. I mean, with Mark,
we're all over the spectrum.
Yeah, Mark used to hate whiskey, and we started getting him into whiskey. I tell everyone, the way you get someone into whiskey, you start them off with Japanese whiskey.
Yeah, that's what I started off
because it's smoother. You know, it's like it's not as harsh as like an American whiskey. So we started him off as, you know, with Japanese whiskey. He'd take a sip and it was okay, and then he started ordering it himself when we weren't there. And then finally, you know, that's when he switched over. He's like, oh, let me try Basil Hayden. Let me try Knob Creek. Let me try, you know, Balvenie. Let me try whatever. And he just kept trying more and more.
So, yeah, Mark started, drinking Japanese whiskey. And really, I mean, before we knew it, he was trying Scotch, Macallan, Belvini.
Yeah, so I was drinking Macallan 15 for a while. That was very good. And then my good buddy Matt Van Etten got me into Belvini. I think he bought me my first Belvini shot, Belvini 14-year Caribbean cask. And I tried that, and that's probably my all-time favorite whiskey right now. But yeah, I would say I'm more of a Scotch guy. I do drink bourbons. I drink Old Forester 1910. I drink, you know, Basil Hayden.
What year in the Belvini, though?
It was Belvini 14-year Caribbean cask.
Yeah,
Caribbean cask is really good.
That and the 17-year is amazing.
17, yeah,
And
17-year
21.
Portwood. Yeah, I got a bottle of 25-year at my house sitting on. So.
I guess you bring it next time.
Crack that open. That's definitely a flex.
So real fast, you said Macallan 15. That's really interesting. So I used to drink, well, I still drink Macallan 12. But I stopped drinking Macallan 15 because it's extra spicy.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
It kind of ruins it. Then Macallan 18 is absolutely perfect to me.
Macallan 18 is great because we had it the other night, and it's closer to a whiskey, so I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Because me personally, I fall in the middle. I like whiskey. I like some bourbons. I like some Scotch. Zach generally likes bourbons, especially bourbons with heat. Mark is more on the Scotch side, you know, generally a lighter body stuff. I know you, generally a Scotch guy.
Yeah.
But you like the Macallan 18, which is kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, so I drink the Macallan 15 because someone lied to me and told me that they're not making it anymore. So I was like, all right, well, I might as well just drink it as much as you can now before, you know, it's completely gone. And then
they don't work at Corona, do they?
No, it's some random guy. I forgot who it was. I wouldn't be able to point him out if he was in the lineup.
It was irrelevant. He made a irrelevant statement.
So then I asked a liquor rep one day. I was like, "Is it true that Macallan 15's gone?" He's like, "No, they're still making it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well."
Yeah, why would they stop making Macallan 15?
Listen, you know what happened? Macallan hired that guy.
Probably.
Right? And was like, tell everyone Macallan 15
to push
they
it.
Gotta get it now. You know, they gotta get it now. They'll never see it again in their lifetimes. And you know what? They sold a shit ton of bottles.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, for the price point between the 12, 15, and 18, you might as well just drink the 12 or the 18 and not the 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not getting much more value out of the 15 than you are the 12.
I also noticed that when you go up to 21, the amount of money you're paying for it kind of outdoes the palate. So unless, depending on how sensitive your palate is, you don't really notice the difference between 18 and 21.
Right, yeah.
Especially 25 and 30.
Once you reach a certain price point, it's like, is it really worth it to spend an extra $100, extra $200?
Per shot.
Yeah,
per shot, yeah.
1 ounce.
1 ounce shots? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have the Macallan M at Corona, which is $5.50 for a ounce pour.
Chump change.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, Zach buys that every night, actually.
Every night. Yeah.
I mean, he's basically the CEO of SpaceX.
I at least buy like, 3 triples. Yeah. I just skip past the doubles.
No, they aren't allowed to serve triples, but Zach always
But
gets
here,
them somehow.
well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, though. You guys are, oh, that's a lot, No, it's not. McAllen M, the bottle's been up there for a long time. You know what I mean? So it's like the alcohol evaporated out. So really,
Yeah, but think about it, too.
I'm not even buying it
if you get a
to
double
get
of
drunk.
anything,
I'm just buying it for the flavor.
if you
Because
get
there's
a,
no alcohol in
if
it.
you get a double of anything over there, it's 1.5 ounces for a shot, right? So you're having 3 ounces for a double.
Exactly.
So you're basically
I'm getting
drinking
a triple.
You're drinking basically 3 drinks.
Well, no, because they
No,
pour,
because
they,
a McAllen M is an ounce pour.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying you're
so he's
drinking.
drinking one double.
Ah,
really.
I'm drinking one true double.
I can't math. Ask me to math.
Yeah,
These guys are
this
the
guy.
math guys.
And
I
for
can't.
McAllen, they will not discount the second one, so it's gonna be $1,000.
Yeah.
$1,000, yeah. So I spent $1,500 one drink.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so old and evaporated that Zach only drinks it for the flavor. He's drinking alcoholless scotch, really.
Yeah. So what I do, this is how you get your money's worth, right? Because you take that, you taste it, you're like, this flavor is good, right? Everclear. Dump some Everclear in there, right?
Excuse me?
So this way, you're actually getting a little drunk, Hey,
I'm about to walk off this podcast. Somebody get
Moral of the
security.
story is, if you want good non-alcoholic whiskey, you have to spend $1,500.
no, you remember when I was on my hot phase though? I still
Dude,
am.
yeah,
I still
it was
love
almost annoying.
Yeah, I know. I knew it annoyed you guys. That's kind of why
You're
I
like,
did it.
You're like, oh, what is this? 100
Oh.
proof, 120 proof? That's good.
And he would
And
drink
we'd be
it.
like,
He'd make no face.
120, dude. That was
he'd
that
be
was weak to
breathing
me.
fire.
Listen, Knob Creek had the 130.9. That was my shit right there. That was it. I
I
was
did drink that a lot.
a lot. How many bottles did people get me? And it was for over a year. How many bottles did people get me for my birthday?
No, the
for
question is,
Christmas,
how many
whatever?
bottles do you still have?
Zero. None.
drank it all.
None whatsoever.
Drank
I
it all.
swear.
Zach would drink 3 shots and get absolutely blasted.
I remember they made Jack Daniels. They do every year. They did like a barrel release at Corona,
Every year.
and I got the 69% Jack Daniels.
Good number.
Weak.
I know.
Good number.
Me, being the weakling that I am, I could only drink it as an old fashioned. I couldn't do it neat.
Was it burning or spicy or?
Spicy. It was really hot. Also, it didn't taste good. It was Jack Daniels. So I mean, what did you expect?
Well, the Sinatra they used to have.
Yeah,
was
the
pretty
Sinatra.
decent.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Probably the only good bottle of Jack Daniels
I
that
agree.
exists.
I agree. But yeah, I went on a hot phase, Jared, that, you missed out on. And I could tell they hated it. So I kept doing it.
So now that I'm here, let's bring it back and we'll do something different. Not Jack Daniels and not the Knob Creek.
No, yeah. So Knob Creek I did. Jack Daniels I never really did.
We'll do a Belvini one. Just keep going.
We got to see if they have like a barrel strength.
We'll just go there and kill a bottle and make sure everyone's happy.
Doesn't matter how strong it is if you drink enough.
Zach's definitely that type of guy though, where he'll be like, if he knows
Oh.
that we don't like it,
Yeah. Continue with that. Yeah, go ahead.
he'll just keep drinking it just to annoy us.
Oh, yeah. I'm that kind of guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
right? I'm that kind of guy. You know how Mark got into black coffee? He drinks black coffee now, right? So we would be at the restaurant.
No, we went to breakfast. We went to breakfast at Kiki's.
Yeah, the first time, but then, you would drink at the restaurant 2 in the morning.
Yeah, just-
So we went to Kiki's, over here in Lake Mary, and then she's like, oh, can I get you guys anything to drink? And Mark's like, yeah,
Melissa.
I'll take a coffee. And she's like, do you want anything in it? He's like, no, I just want a black coffee. And I look at him, and I'm like, you have never in your life ordered a black coffee.
I really haven't.
He's like, well, I know, yeah, well, I like coffee. And I'm like, no,
I
like
kept on
bullshit.
saying, I love black
No,
coffee, man.
yeah, so every time I would like look at him, and it got to a point. Every time I looked at him, oh man, I love black coffee. I love black. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Can I curse on here? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so
We haven't established the rules yet.
yeah, no rules right now.
As soon as YouTube strikes us, we'll sit down and we'll say, all right, we need to make some changes.
So then anyway, time goes on. I thought he was just joking around the Kiki's thing, right? We would go to work.
And I would only drink coffee when I see Zach.
Yeah, he never drank coffee any other time. I'll go to work, and he'd go pour himself a cup of coffee. Meanwhile, we have an espresso machine, right? I make espressos. My cousin Nick makes espressos. But Mark would make an espresso every now and then. We never drank drip coffee, So he would go to the machine at the restaurant, pour himself a drip coffee. I love black coffee. I'm like, oh, stop fucking with me. And but I'm the person. That, yeah, he would do that just to annoy you.
I actually did it so much I actually started to like.
He started
black
enjoying coffee.
I started to
You
like
still
black
drink it today?
So that's
I
the
do still enjoy it,
definition.
yeah.
You're faking it till you make it, basically.
Well,
I do like this.
At first, it just tastes like coffee, right? It's just like cigars, right? The first time you
dude.
smoke a cigar, do anything.
What's shocking is it tastes like coffee.
That's crazy.
Coffee
That
does
is
taste
crazy.
like coffee.
I never thought of that.
Does it taste like the bean?
So-
or just like the
No,
coffee?
no, just coffee.
Oh, wow.
There's no beans in it.
Nothing better than a double espresso in the morning with a cigar.
I agree.
Exactly.
And then
I agree.
after 12 p.m., you switch over to whiskey somehow.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree.
that's not-
But
Listen,
then you finish off
But
late
look,
at
look,
night
look.
with a shot of espresso. It's all a circle.
So just like cigars, right? You start off and you drink it, and you don't really know what you're tasting, right? Every
Drink the
coffee tastes the
cigar.
same. Every cigar tastes the same to you, and then you just do it so much that you just start getting like notes out of it. You start getting like you drink a black coffee, you might taste like a hint of
like
vanilla.
Apple Notes or Google Notes?
Well,
Cherry.
when I'm in the
I think he likes
cyber world, I taste the
acid
Google notes.
notes.
Like Google Notes.
Cigar. I'll tell you what. The cigar industry is all about fake it till you make it. That's how you start. No one that everyone that smokes a cigar for the first time, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're tasting. I want you to find one guy that's like, yeah, I tried a cigar for the first time and I tasted coffee and chocolate and all this and that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. It doesn't.
Fake it
Bro,
till you make
I
it.
tasted the charcoal of a campfire when I first.
That's more
smoked my
realistic
cigar.
though. I tasted tobacco,
Well, some guy
burning tobacco.
reviewed our cigar, and he put a bunch of taste notes in there I've never even heard in my life.
Yeah, he's from California though, so he's
Hey, careful, careful. We got a California person.
he's not from California.
raised right here in
Born and
Florida.
raised, we're all born and raised in Florida. Just throwing that out there, so you could take that. You can take that as you will.
So if it's a positive review, you can take that and remarket it in like your descriptions on the webpage.
It was just
It was an odd review. It was,
it was
an
a
odd
very
review.
odd review. Yeah.
We've tried. So for those of you that don't know, we have a cigar. It's called the Basic Cigar. We'll talk more about that in another episode. But we send out some samples to guys to review, and all the reviews you've gotten so far were from like interesting people.
Yeah.
They
And-
weren't traditional cigar media.
Yeah, but
which
all
is
the-
fine sometimes. But like,
Yeah, but most of the people, all the taste notes like fell in line, right? And then you have this one guy.
yeah, like normal people we hand out to.
You have this one guy. He's like, yeah, I taste a little bit of apple, a little bit.
I
like
wonder.
black cherry.
He's like, yeah, I taste the smell of when I was 9 years old, this campfire my dad took me to. That's what I tasted. We're like, dude, what the?
Well, I don't even know what this means.
No, it was weird. He put apple in there. He put, what else did he put in there? Like pears or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
put a
was
bunch-
it was some like you don't traditionally
some flour.
get in
He put a
cigar.
flower, like floral notes in there. I'm
Floral
like,
notes I get, but like with our cigar, with the Basic Cigar, it's like
you don't really get a lot of floral.
If it's
Basic
not-
Cigar, cedar, hazelnut, cocoa, espresso, and then there's a few others, but those are the main ones.
If it's
that-
California and he's mentioning floral notes, he might be having a glass of wine with it, which would like you'll.
It could, yeah.
Oh, you're right
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, you're
It
right
also
about that.
depends what
A lot
you're
of people do
drinking.
that.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, your drink will affect the taste of the cigar, what you
That
ate
is true.
before, stuff like that. If you're smoking a cigar on an empty stomach, you might just be like, I taste tobacco. That's about it.
Well, I forget which cigar we were smoking, but we were smoking it for a long time, and I remember we smoked it at Celery City Cigars, and we both looked at each other like, "Does this taste weird to you? Like, what tastes different about it?" But just the environment that you're in, because
Yeah.
Corona's a lot more smoky than Celery City was, when we went there that day. So the environment was completely different, and the cigar tasted completely different. We were both so confused on, why it was like that.
Yeah, sometimes it's like a huge change, and you're kind of sitting there like, why does it taste this drastically
Yeah.
different?
And the same thing happened when we were drinking duckhorn wine for, a long time. We were on a
Yeah.
duckhorn craze. And then we kept smoking the same cigar too. As soon as we switched to old fashions or whiskey, that
Everything
cigar.
tasted different, too.
Yes, we're like,
Yep.
what's wrong with us? Like, yeah, it was crazy.
I used to drink old fashions all the time, but I was kind of sick and tired of the sugar and the bourbon, and that's why I kind of moved to Scotch. The
Yeah.
Scotch has all the benefits of the bourbon without the sugar.
Yep.
Yeah,
the flavor
exactly.
is so bold.
No, the sugar will get you, man. Like you have a few old fashions, you'll feel way different than if you have a few shots of neat whiskey.
So what happens is if I have a cigar and my stomach can get a cigar high, especially when it's dark, I'll have an old fashioned and it bounces out and you feel perfect again.
It's true.
And then I go buy another Padron and then we're back at
Bad guy. Well, it's because the sugars that you're drinking help like metabolize everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about today with this guy at Corona. What was he saying? I mean, like if you get really buzzed off of a cigar, like if you have a really strong cigar and you're drinking, that buzz will increase your drunkenness. So to say, it'll increase your high, your overall buzz, and you'll feel way more elevated than if you were just drinking or if you were just smoking a cigar. So it's crazy that those things like kind of interact with each other.
Let's do it.
It's like they were made for each other.
All right.
Pour up.
They're the perfect couple. They're the perfect toxic couple. You know,
There's not a lot of good toxic couples, but that's one of them.
that's one of them. That's one of them.
When it comes to humans,
We got sound on there for that?
yeah. So, Zach, what do you think about this Rabbit Hole rye whiskey?
I like it. It's good. I don't know if I would make it, my go-to or, every once in a while. I think it'd do pretty good in an old fashioned.
It would do go in an old fashioned. I really like it neat, actually.
Yeah.
That's an
Me
Irish
personally.
whiskey, correct?
It doesn't have enough heat for you. That's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's only what is this?
Yeah. Listen,
95 proof. It didn't even break 100.
Listen, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. But I can't say that no more because I got out of the kitchen.
Wait. Can't you just go back and like put a Giovanni shirt on, start working? No one's gonna question it. No one's gonna question you.
No one questions you now.
Zach can just walk in and fire somebody. And
Exactly.
I used to have a reputation.
Honestly, it's scarier when he walks in with a button down or a jacket. Like, it's even worse.
Dude, I walked in with a suit when I went to Christner's. Right, I had to go to Giovanni's to fix the phones. Shout out Giovanni's, best pizza place in Orlando.
Best pizza place
Italian
in the world.
restaurant. Bring your girlfriend there, bring your boyfriend there, whatever you want.
Personally, at Giovanni's, I like the pasta there. Every time I go there, there's always
Dude,
pasta.
everything's great.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had. You can ask anyone in Lake Mary. There's no bad item on the menu.
Yeah,
Nothing's
none.
bad.
no bad item.
Because if it was bad, you'd get rid of it.
The Lake Mary store is missing McAllen 18.
That's why
Yeah, but
you
you know what?
gotta
That's why you gotta go to
Creek.
Boggy Creek. Shout out Boggy Creek. We're right next to Medical City,
my
Boxy
store.
Park area, right over there. Me and Mark and my cousin Nick, we used to run the place. I left. I had to.
He had to run SpaceX.
Yeah, I had to run SpaceX, and I had to let the children go. You know what I mean? I had to let them, have their own challenges.
Yeah.
Every time I see Nick, he always tells me, "Hey, we have an McAllen 18 in my store." But then I type it into Google Maps. I'm like, "Well, Lake Mary's right here."
Damn, McAllen 18 to Corona. I mean,
So I'll tell you what, when we first opened that store, we had the same whiskey wine selection as the one on Narcoosee. And, which it wasn't that much. They had a lot of house stuff, but we don't want to be known for house stuff. We wanted to have nice stuff in there. So this was right before Mark started getting into whiskey. And I kept saying, oh, we should get this. We should get that. We should get Basil Hayden. We should get the Toast. We should get, McAllen. We should get whatever. And then Mark started drinking whiskey. And then that's when Mark started buying everything. He's like, listen, if I could drink it, I'm going to buy it. So that's when we started getting McAllen 18.
I remember we got McAllen 12, and that was like our first $80 bottle. And we were all like,
we were
like
stressed
nervous.
about
we were
it.
like nervous about it.
Yeah.
And now we got McAllen 18. We got a Don Julio 1942.
Yep. Everything.
Wow, yeah.
We-
Yeah,
we-
what do you guys gonna be getting tequila on? Because Don Julio 1942, great stores, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We got $500 bottles of wine. Now we got it all.
yeah, we got Opus One over there, and people bought it. I remember when we first got Opus One, a guy came in at the bar and he's like, "Let me get 3 bottles, right?" And then he decides to get a 4th bottle, and he shares that 4th bottle with everyone at the bar.
Well, okay, no. So here's the story about
Sounds
that.
like a brother right there.
So he's, if you buy more than one bottle, I'm gonna give you a little discount. So we're sitting there, we're negotiating. So he wanted it for this price, and I was like, I can't do it. And then he's like, well, what if I buy a 4th bottle and I share it with everybody in the bar? And I was like, you know what? I've never had it, so yeah, let's do it. Shook on it, said Mazal, and then
One of these days, can you guys bring in Silver Oak, like Napa Valley,
Dude.
or even Alexander Valley?
I could look for it. For
Does
sure.
that mean you're gonna go there?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I don't. I'll play around. If you bring that out,
So we got
I'll
go.
text Zach and let's go.
So yeah, we have some good connections with our liquor reps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, Christner's has both bottles, the Alexander Valley and the other one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Napa?
yeah, and the Napa. Yeah, so they have both bottles, and I'm pretty sure it was cheaper over at Christner's.
Yeah, we gotta talk to Corona about that. Get the Napa in because they only had the Alexander.
Alexander, yeah. I almost got it though. But is what it is.
We still remember that night? Like Napa Valley at the vineyard was incredible.
Yeah, I
you
loved
remember.
it. Yeah, that
I
was
had
great.
dry aged steak.
Yeah, I had the filet.
It was great. That's great
Some
food.
some of their
Yeah,
mac
yeah.
and cheese.
Their,
I
their
ate so
meatloaf-
much.
Their meatloaf is insane.
Have you tried the meatloaf?
No, you asked me that last time. I was
Man,
like,
you gotta
I don't
have
know. It's
meatloaf,
like
man.
I feel like
meatloaf.
everyone asks.
I know. You don't want to get the meatloaf. Listen,
Get the meatloaf.
No, listen. I went to Vineyard probably about 5 or 6 times, and Don Miller, every
Shout out to
single
Don
time.
Miller, host of the Don Miller Show. Great guy. Go check him out.
Yeah, go check him out. You know, but yeah, I went to a vineyard 5 or 6 times, and then finally, you know, every time I went there, Don Miller, hey, did you get the meatloaf? I'm like, no, I didn't get the meatloaf. He's like, you gotta try the meatloaf, and I'm like, all right, Don, next time. And then he caught us over there, right? He walks up to the table, you know, because if I see him, he says hi, you know, if he sees me, you know, whatever. So he walks up to the table, he's like, what'd you get? And I'm like, I didn't order yet. He's like, get the meatloaf. And I'm like, all right, Don, I'm gonna get the meatloaf. He's like, all right, get the meatloaf. It was good.
Best meatloaf.
It was really good.
Better than Mama's meatloaf.
You
I'm
know.
sorry to say.
But, you know, it doesn't come with ketchup, and, you know, meatloaf, you gotta have a little ketchup.
Probably this, I'll probably go to the meatloaf, and I'll go to Don and say I tried it. And, 5 stars.
It's basically bragging rights in Lake Mary.
The meatloaf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had the meatloaf? No. I don't want to talk to you.
You know what's really good over there is their spinach, like, rolls. The appetizer.
Yeah.
Bro.
Put some of that hot sauce on there. He's got this special hot sauce. You know, oh, man.
There's one pasta dish I like, the capellini.
The
It's pretty good.
capellini is very good, yeah.
I had the duck there, and okay, it would have been really good, but they added these cherries to it.
Yeah.
I told him. Yeah. I was like, don't
He's
get
like,
the
"Don't
duck.
get it."
If I could get the duck without the cherries.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah.
Because they use the maraschino cherries for like the the same ones.
It's almost like the sauce that they put on it, you know?
Yeah, but it would have been because I had a few pieces of duck with the what did it come on? It was a risotto.
Yeah, it was like a risotto or something like that.
So, or no, orzo. I don't know, whatever it was.
I don't know, dude. I wasn't a fan.
So because you had it, all yours was mixed already.
Yeah, mine was all mixed.
So mine, I had it without the cherries, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I had one with the cherry, and I'm like, this is absolutely terrible. So, yeah, if you get it, no cherries.
What about the pheasant?
The
on
pheasant?
menu?
The pheasant?
Pheasant on the
Yeah.
menu, whatever.
You know, my dad got that, and he said it was terrible, so I just never ordered it. I guess you got to be really like a pheasant guy. It's a really gamey bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things. It was probably really good, but if you don't like it, you don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, my dad's the same kind of guy that, you know, loves red bell peppers, but if there's a green bell pepper in there, he will send that shit back. Like, he hates them. He hates green bell peppers. It's weird. Weirdest thing.
Yeah. Well, they do taste different.
I know,
I mean, but like
come
I'll
on,
eat
man.
them. I mean, like, peppers are great.
Listen,
What about
red,
yellow?
No, yellow, dude. Orange, yellow, green, red. I
get
don't
out of
care.
here.
You like
no.
yellow? You like
Yellow?
yellow?
Get out of here.
You like
no.
You
I
like
was-
yellow.
That was
Yeah.
a joke.
There's a door right there.
I was just trying to be inclusive.
You better go on and get.
Well, yeah. I was just trying to be inclusive. You know, it's 2023. We have to be inclusive. We have to be.
Listen, bro. I'm
Yeah,
so
like
Jared's
correct.
been going to this restaurant, Lake Mary Social.
I was just about to mention that because someone asked me about it last night.
Yeah. And, they have good food. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they have good food.
So I still haven't tried their food. The only thing I tried was the scallops, the raw scallops over there.
okay, I'm not going to lie. Their burger, they have this bison smash burger.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But their fry, they got to work on those fries, man.
Do they hand make them? Are they? Like,
No, definitely not handmade.
I would say when I met him there before your birthday, they gave us free, like at least I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the bill, but they gave us a free second McAllen 18 shot. Because I said I love this place. He's like, sure, and he's like, I was like, I said, I love it. I really a lot.
So if you go to Lake Mary Social, say, "Man, I love this place," and they'll hook you up.
See, I do that, but I do that at Kobe's Steakhouse. Man,
yeah?
oh yeah, she hooks it up over there for me. You know, the one in Altamont though. Yeah, the one in Altamont.
Not Longwood.
Yeah.
So,
No, not Longwood. No.
Yeah, go to the one in Altamont.
Yeah.
So when I was in Denver, I went to this sushi restaurant called Uchi, and they have 3 locations: one in Texas where they started, one in Denver, and one in Miami. And you can look it up; it's one of the best rated sushi restaurants, like in Florida. In
What's it
Denver.
called?
Uchi.
Uchi.
Yeah. So the one in Florida is in Miami, but we were in Denver, so we had that one, and we made friends with the bartender, and he gave us so much free like food. It was insane. He'd be like, yeah, you guys can order it, but I just want you guys to try it. Here you go, try this. And everything was amazing. I think it was on happy hour, and our tabs were 120 each.
No more.
And no, actually, I'm gonna try his Irish whiskey he's got there.
It's a rye, but it's okay. It's a Kentucky rye. Close enough.
Last time I was in Colorado, I tried rattlesnake for the first time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, Kentucky Rye. I've been saying it
Colorado, I'll tell you what. Colorado's got great food all around.
Well, it's like a mini California, but they have like Rocky Mountains.
You know, it's just
Snow.
it's just better.
It's like a
Listen, I would much prefer to live in Colorado than
Absolutely.
California.
Because
Yeah.
they have like natural
have-
beef
they have
farms,
guns there.
bison, all
Their
that
only
stuff.
problem is the house prices.
yeah, they're insane.
yeah,
Because
they're
everyone from
expensive.
California is fleeing.
Yeah. I mean, it's still again better. Than
Well, who wants to
California.
live in California?
Listen, New York and
Not Jared,
California.
that's
when you can live in any other state?
New York and California were the 2 largest like declining population states. just like because people kept moving out. You know what I mean?
So the most beautiful thing about California is that you could buy a like modern contemporary house in the side of a rock on a mountain that overlooks the sea. Like it's like crazy stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're just gonna pay $40 million for it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You know, it's all about how much money you got. If I had all the money in the world, I would love to live in California. You know, I would love to have a house, not live there, but have a house over there.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: if you're making $100,000 in Lake Mary, you're doing pretty well. If you're making $100,000 in California,
roommates.
Brokey.
Oh, you're
broke.
you know you're
Roommates.
I think
Seven
roommates.
people.
Roommates. I think you're homeless over there.
which is actually insane. I mean, I would say 120,000 is very good income for most of America. But if you live in New York City, it's nothing. California, it's nothing.
Yeah, like I mean, it's when I lived out there, it's kind of crazy because like several years ago, I was like 23, like, and you're making six figures, you're gonna pay like $3,000 in rent or make $1,500 in rent and have a roommate, and then depending on like if you're different
A
profession,
roommate, maybe a few.
you have like a few roommates. So it's kind of a crazy thing.
And you get charged
10%.
city income tax, don't you?
I'm doing San Francisco for sure, but in the state it says 10% state income tax, and then like certain cities you can live in at all additional taxes.
So when you move to Florida, you see a big pay jump because of all the taxes.
What do you mean?
When you move to Florida and you
Like
get
for you personally.
No, I mean from Florida to California. Yeah, like it was a big jump.
big jump, right?
But now with the pandemic kind of thing, whatever, you can probably work remote anywhere doing that.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
different.
and places are still moving remote now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just going remote because it's more convenient for them.
And all major tech companies are also in Texas and Washington, which have no state taxes like Florida. So I mean, you're pretty much solid.
Yeah.
Well,
So Jared actually got me into programming, so I've been practicing programming on my laptop.
Yeah, welcome to the programming club.
Geek Squad.
Yo, I still have I have my original notebook with all my programs on it from high school and the 4 years of programming I did.
I used to be a HTML pro in high school.
Yeah, this is a programming.
So one thing I do miss about MySpace is the fact that they gave you unique ability to customize your page. Or Facebook, everyone's the same.
1 second.
Yeah.
What's MySpace? They really dated you there.
No, but
that dated us.
sure, I was gonna say I remember MySpace.
I remember
No,
MySpace.
MySpace-
love
I never had MySpace, but I remember
Oh,
it
really?
existed.
Yeah, no, I used to have MySpace, and yeah, you used to be able to basically recode your whole profile.
Dude,
And
I
it would
remember
be
when
fully custom.
I remember when picking your top 5 friends list was like a big deal. And like if you picked someone and you weren't on theirs, it was like, bro, like I'm not in your top 5. Like what the hell's going on? You know?
No, but MySpace used to be.
That's never happened to me.
Damn, Mark.
Yeah,
So
so
Jared-
Jared just left Tom over there. That's what he did. He left Tom on
My
the
top friend.
top
So,
friend.
so Jared, what's the cigar community like in California? Is there any? I mean, I know the taxes over there are kind of crazy for cigars and tobacco and whatever.
Honestly, I was more a part of like the wine community. Like I went to all the different vineyards, all the headquarters, different places.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're 2-3 hours from Napa right there. I really didn't smoke many cigars in California.
Really? Did anybody ever talk
We
about
went
like,
to a shop in Malibu, and a late hour, which is like $18-20 here, was like maybe $35.
yeah, it was
over there.
expensive. Yeah.
To be clear, I live in North California where all the vineyards are at, so it's way different. It's way cooler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So real quick, we're gonna end it here soon, but let's do a quick review on what we're doing here. So I'm gonna start off here with my Davidoff Nicaragua, and I mean we're all smoking pretty popular smokes. So if you guys know anything about cigars, you know what's going on here. But the Davidoff Nicaragua, I'll tell you what, great draw, great flavor. It's got some notes of cocoa and espresso in there. Just overall a great smoke, and honestly, pairing it with this Kentucky Rye here, the Rabbit Hole. It's very good. The Kentucky Rye itself, I mean, like I said earlier, it's got some citrus notes of apple. Very smooth. I think once you get over that first sip, it's actually pretty smooth.
Yeah, I agree.
That first sip's got a little heat
I
to
know.
it, but
I'm gonna need a
it's-
refill over here
yeah,
or something.
Tell us about your cigar, Zach.
So, Padron, what'd I get? 1926, double check. Always a good smoke. No, always a good smoke.
Wait, what year was that one? The 45?
40, I think, right? No, this one's 45.
45. Yeah, that's probably, in my opinion, it's one of the best.
Pretty
ones.
sure it was a 40, but
Oh, hold on, wait.
no, the 40's in there. You had the 40. That's the 45.
Oh, yeah, this is a 40. 45's in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I listen, I told Mark to bring my cigars over. I was at work all day, and I thought I was going to have a little bit more variety. Ends up being all Padrones,
You had one
Which-
Opus in there.
I had one Opus, but I'm
Yeah,
like...
but we're gonna be honest. Is Opus anyone's favorite here?
Not mine, man. I'd rather Padron over, Padron's a little better.
There's a lot of Opus fans out there. Opus fans are like luxury Rocky Patel fans. We'll talk more about that later.
There's Rocky Patel fans.
But yeah, great smoke. I mean, you know, yeah, there's not much more I can say from it.
Can't go wrong with that.
Can never go wrong. Yeah.
What about you, Mark? Musa de Saka.
Yeah, I'm talking the Musa de Saka. It's probably the least known out of the bunch over here.
For sure, definitely the least
compared
known.
to Davidoff and Padron. More of a smaller brand. It's a great cigar though, man. Medium to full body. This one, the Unstolen Valor. 6x52. It paired great with the Macallan 12, with the Rabbit, whatever. What is this? Rabbit Hole. It's okay. I'll probably pair it more with a Scotch. It's got so much nostalgic feeling when I smoke these because it was pretty much the first cigar I really got started on. So I'm always gonna love it. I'm a little biased to it.
Absolutely.
But,
Last but not least, the 1964 classic.
Anniversary series.
Very reliable.
Good old reliable.
I smoke this so often to the point when I walk into Corona, they say, "Oh, Jared's gonna get one." It's to the point where like people just guess. Like same with like the Macallan. I walk in, it's already poured.
Yeah, they've got your drink ready. They got your cigar ready.
Like, just sit down over here, sir. I mean, I love it. I mean, I talked about this a little earlier. I mean, it's really good. I wouldn't start with this because when you start with this, it's kind of hard to go back. But I always go back.
Of course.
That's funny because when we were talking to the guy in Corona today, he's like, "Yeah, never start a guy off on Padron because you're already at the top, and there's nowhere else to go from there."
Yeah, I mean, you just wait till the next day, I guess. I don't know.
Or if you're a salesperson, excuse me, you start them off at Padron, and then they never go down. They just keep buying Padrons.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to our very first episode of the Cigar Guys. We're really excited about moving forward here. I hope you enjoyed. You're going to definitely enjoy the content that we bring to you in the future. But thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Make sure you go to our Linktree, Linktree/Cigar Guys. You'll find all our socials on there. Please follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we post. But thank you guys for being here. It's been a real pleasure, and we're very excited to move forward.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And make sure to keep up with us. We got lots of changes coming around here. Everything, viewpoints, camera angles, whatever. So just make sure you check back in.
Feel free to reach out. To try any different whiskeys, different drinks, especially cigars. Any cigar recommendations?
Yeah, we're taking a lot of recommendations off of our TikTok followers, but as we grow, leave a comment, message us. We're going to be trying a lot of new cigars, a lot of new whiskeys. Anything you guys recommend, we write it down, we put it on the list, and we'll get to that eventually. But we're really excited to expand our community.
Yep. See you guys on the next episode.
Peace out.